Hey everyone! Welcome back! Guess what? I am back today with more of the Promised Neverland, you guys. I can't believe I'm even sitting here saying that. I am so excited to see Season 2. If you're joining me early today, you already know what it means. It means you are one of my awesome patrons. Thank you so much, and as always, I am sending up those big old hugs right through that screen. And if not, still thank you for joining me today. I'm glad you're here. I do hope you'll consider supporting me that way. The link to my Patreon is going to be in the description down below. So I will paint you guys a little picture of how incredibly emotional this series is for me. Because it's been several months since I last watched Season 1, I thought I'd go back and try and pour over the last episode of the last season. And I immediately was like wrecked and in tears, and I'm like, I can't, like, not right before a reaction, like, I can't just, like, be, already, like, going into this already wrecked and emotional. So, so I skimmed it. I skimmed the last episode of the last season, but guys, if you watched Season 1 with me, you know that it was an incredibly emotional show for me. For everyone, I think it was very, very emotional, and the last episode was just filled with so many like reached hopes and false hopes and surprises. You know, they kept on showing Norman, and that's one of the things that kept getting me, and each time I had to kind of like be brought back to reality, like, no, that's not really him. Although I do still have my questions about Norman, because we did not ever really see him die. And I wonder if there's a reason for that. Perhaps it was just decorum on the part of the showrunners, that, you know, we did not need to see a gruesome death. It was implied. But I have my doubts, let's put it that way. Like, I would be surprised if he showed back up, but I would be like, I knew it. After the initial, like, screaming and freaking out, I'll be like, I knew it. I told you guys. But we had, so that would be kind of the false hope part of being like, I thought he was coming back and he didn't. We had, of course, our kids achieve their goal of finally making it off the farm. I did not see it coming that they were going to leave the little guys there, but it actually did make a lot of sense, and seeing as how they were the closest to being harvested and everything, whereas they had a little bit more time with the little guys, and, you know, they left my little man Phil to hold down the fort, and I trust him and believe in him. And, I mean, in terms of surprises, I really, and I want to address this now because a lot of this I kind of discovered after the fact, and I didn't really get a chance to talk about it in the reactions. Mom took me by surprise an awful lot. Isabella, because, you know, I spent a lot of the season just, I had a very hard time seeing past what she was doing. I kind of held my grudge against her, and on the story surface, I could see that, I could see the kind of what they were, the picture they were painting. And emotionally, I just got really caught up in my emotions in this series, and it's part of the fun of a reaction, right, is to see how somebody is going to emotionally process the story. But after chatting with you guys and kind of going back and forth on it a little bit, I really have a lot more love and respect for the story that they told about Isabella, because, you know, we basically, in the last episode, see what she went through firsthand. You know, she had someone she cared about and had to go through everything our kids have gone through, and just kind of that shaped her, you know, and that's probably the way it is with most of the moms, you know. We got to see it with Sister Crone too. Like, she had, like, they did that little vignette where they showed her going from little girl all the way on up, and knowing that the lullaby she sang was his song, it really goes to show you how much of that stuck with her, you know. She may have done what she had to do to survive, but there was never, there's always going to be a part of her that's still one of those, just one of the kids, you know, inside. And I just want to put that out there because I had so much hate for the mom last season. And I just wanted to level with you guys and be like, I do get it. I do see the picture that they painted with her there. The biggest surprise of all, I guess, would be the fact that we found out that the moms are not just moms, they are moms. They actually do, which makes sense because, you know, it kind of, in terms of like, from a livestock, like, breeding point of view, if you have, like, just seeing it from, trying to see it from their perspective, which is very, like, yeah, I don't even like thinking that way, but, you know, if you have this prime specimen, of course you're going to kind of keep breeding from that stock, you know. It's just, I can't believe we're talking about kids right now. I'm gonna get so emotional, you guys. But anyway, and not only is she an actual mom, she is Ray's mom. And Ray can remember everything. Like, he remembers everything from birth, and that's how he knew. And the lullaby. He could remember the lullaby. So, I mean, that's kind of like my big takeaways from the last episode. Of course, there was like, the entire episode just had me going the whole time because they did that whole thing with, like, did Ray burn in the fire? Did he not? I mean, it was like an emotional roller coaster, but those were kind of my big takeaways that I'll highlight here before we head into the next season. The big question, I guess, is what's going to happen now that they're out? We know that they had to get creative to get out, but there's still a big question mark over what is awaiting them on the other side. Like, what are they going to have to face now? So you guys, to better answer that question, what do you say we go ahead and jump in to the first episode of the new season of Promised Neverland? Let's go. Oh my God. Okay, let's talk about that because I just feel like they hit the ground running in this one, and I love it. I feel like from that opening scene where we're being chased, which actually ends up being like at some point throughout the episode, it just puts you right back into the, like, desperation mode of, like, trying to get away from all these things that are trying to hurt the kids. And it feels like they do a good job of kind of putting you in the mindset where, like, you really don't have a huge chance to breathe. Like, we had that little downtime where they were, like, finding the water in the plant and messing around with, so the pen is like a holographic touchscreen thing, because I remember having this conversation with some of you guys back last season of, like, when exactly does this even take place? And we did find out it was not, like, supposed to be in the 40s or anything, even though it did kind of feel like it was set during that time. But I mean, they have some tech. Like, they have some tech on this show. So that was the pen that was left by Norman. And apparently it is it was a kind of like guide / letter / from William Minerva. So we're going to be getting more of that, which I knew we would, but I wasn't sure, like, how long we'd have to wait before we got to that, you know? Are we going to go through a whole season of them just, like, trying to survive in the wild, which we might before we get to William Minerva, but it was nice to at least have that kind of in there, like, okay, this is what we know. So The Adventures of Ugo was the book, and it's like a guidebook for how to get by in the outside world, which is awesome. And whoever this William Minerva is, I want to shake his hand. I pray he is still alive and unharmed. I'm assuming he's human, although we really have no way of knowing that. We know that these demons did not seem to know of him. But then again, there's the question of these new demons. Could it be that some of the demons don't agree with what's being done and are trying to help the kids? Are they trying to have their own, like, counterfeit black market kid racket? kid meat racket? And that's why they're rescuing the kids? Is there another reason entirely? I have no clue. I do feel like the way it was set up and just the scenes from the ending theme, I could be very, very wrong about this, because ending themes typically take a little bit more of a peaceful approach compared to the, oh my god, that opening theme. Can we talk about some of the horrifying imagery in that opening theme? Like, I was like ready to tap out just on the opening theme, like, oh no, too much emotion for me. But fortunately, it seems like we're doing a slow build on the emotion. Some nasty imagery though, you guys. Good lord. Anyway, it kind of seems like they're building up the demons to be good. Like, I feel like they want to help. I don't know why though. I really don't know why. I mean, maybe they're entrepreneurs trying to start their own farm and they're going to take all these kids. Like, I'm just trying to think of other reasons besides the mind to help. But I keep coming back to, like, I think they might just really not agree with what's going on. Maybe they're vegans. So we had a lot of great mention of Norman and a lot of sweet missing him. We had Emma and Ray just being their best selves in this. Ray just staying determined no matter what to stay around for his family and help Emma and protect the kids and everything. And Emma just being her usual, like, you know, Ray's just like, I'm sorry you got hurt, so no big deal. What's an ear, really? You know, just like taking it all in Emma sweetness stride. But I knew there was something wrong with her. I'm glad it just seemed to be like some kind of, not that that's good, but like a mild infection that was treated and everything. I hope that's going to be the end of it. I hope we're not going to have like an ongoing, especially since Emma was supposed to be like one of the strongest, one of the fittest, right? That would really stink to have her like sick. And also just because I love Emma and I don't want to see her sick. All right, guys, we got to see a lot more of the demons this time. So we got to see like a lot of their interaction. We know that their sense of smell can be, if it's obscured, that's an issue for them. That seems to be a big way of hunting and tracking for them. So I don't know if maybe that'll come up later. But we have all the pieces in place now for our second season story. So, I just want them all to be all right. I just want them to find William Minerva. I want him to be okay. And I want them all to just live out great lives. And I would really love it if we could put a whole end to like the child farm thing. Like, we need to put an end to that. We need to go back. We need to get the other kids. We need to free the other plants. And something needs to be done about, like, I don't know what the demon's deal is. If there are like some demons who are okay and don't want to hurt anyone, then awesome. It does seem like for some reason, for whatever, I don't know the specifics, like, it feels like the demons have, like, conquered humanity to a degree. I could be wrong. Maybe there's, like, maybe that's not the whole story, but yeah, we need to put an end to, like, the child farming. That needs to stop. So, that's kind of my two big goals. No more child farming and happy lives for our kids. So, alright guys, what a start to season 2. I'm like terrified to see more, but I'm like on the edge of my seat and just like cannot wait for more. It's the perfect way to describe this series. Just like terrified, but on the edge of your seat and loving it. So, okay guys. So happy to be starting this journey. Love the episode. Can't wait to see more. I hope you enjoyed watching along with me. As always, thank you so much for joining me today. Please be sure to join me next time. We will watch it together. Bye for now, guys.